So how much did the depiction of LEGO construction vehicles change in the 39-year period between 1973 and 2012? I have two excavators and their transport low loaders to show you, one from an era of vinyl records and 8-track tapes, and the other from an era where you could get just about any music played instantly on demand. Whatever the era, when you've got a big hole to dig, you need to call the big machines. Those machines are Set 383 truck and excavator from 1973 and Set 4203 excavator transport from 2012. So stick around as we have a side-by-side look at these two sets. I'm Lord Paul, and this is Lord Paul's Bricks. Hey Brick fans, if this is your first time here, welcome to the channel, and if you're a returning viewer, welcome back. I recently posted a long-form detailed review of 1973 LEGO Set 383 Truck and Excavator. In that review, I made mention of a city set from 2012 that I felt was an ideal successor. So here we are to spend some time on comparing these two sets that are 39 years apart. This vintage set has 102 pieces, but there are no minifigures as it predates even the first statue minifigures. This newer generation excavator transporter has a more substantial 296 pieces and 2 minifigures. As I mentioned, only one of these sets has minifigures, so we're not going to compare minifigures between the two sets, but we should at least have a look at the minifigures that are in set 4203. The first minifigure has a dark red torso with work shirt pattern and a hammer tucked in his back pocket, dark tan legs, a face with a beard and safety glasses, and a flat silver mining helmet with a headlamp. His colleague sports a dark blue torso with a shirt and harness print with a spanner tucked in his pocket, sand blue leg assembly, a stubbled face and red cap. Both of these minifigures look the part and certainly ready to get the job done. In my reviews, I show any unique, rare and long discontinued pieces that are in a set. But for today's comparison, I'm going to show how different pieces are used for key functions of these two trucks. Starting with the front of the prime movers, it is obvious that 4203 is a much bigger unit and also benefits from the massively expanded piece palette, with small pieces adding tremendous amount of detail. The grille and headlamps are a printed 1x6 brick on the old truck, whereas the new truck has 8 or 10 pieces that make up that area. As an aside, the number plate on the front of the new truck shows the set number, but what I didn't know until a couple of years ago is that the letters, in this case PN, are initials of the set designer, which in this case was Pierre Normandin. The windscreens have gone from quite a basic 1x4 transparent brick here to a 2x6x2 transparent brown specialised windscreen, which is a piece design that was first introduced in 1980 and still used today. One piece of functionality that the old set has over the new one is the LEGO 1x2 brick on the roof. That actually connects to the wheels via a shaft that goes through the cabin. It means that you can turn the wheels to steer the truck for play. Those 1x3x3 doors in blue are a dual moulder design with the transparent section on top. This style of door was also made in red and yellow from the late 60s through to the mid 70s. Our green truck uses the standard car and truck doors that were first introduced in 1978. From the rear three-quarter, I think the detail that was created for 4203 looks excellent with the exhaust stacks, the lamps on the roof and the fuel tanks. From this angle, the vintage truck looks plain, but that 1x6 transparent clear brick was really only used until 1978. The vintage truck uses the same wheels for the truck and trailer as well as the excavator. These red-spoked wheels were used from the late 1960s for about 10 years, and they came with mostly black tyres, but very early versions came with a tyre that was in light grey. The wheels of the newer truck are a fairly late design from 1999, still used today and are fitted with offset tread pattern tyres, which is a style of tyre that was first introduced in the late 1970s. The vintage wheels have a metal pin that locks into these modified 2x4 black bricks with wheels holder and a transparent clear underside, a piece that dates back to 1963. The attachments of the trailers are a different approach with the black 4x4 turntable on the blue truck, which creates a fixed attachment for the trailer. Our green truck uses the hole with this 2x2 round plate with a modified 1x4 plate with down bar that drops into the hole in the plate. That allows the trailer to be lifted off. On the underside of these trucks shows basic brick and plate structure, but the vintage truck uses a quite unusual 4x14 vehicle base with a partly notched in section that was used in 11 sets between 1967 and 1973. The comparison between the two trailers also shows how much more detail a broader palette of pieces is able to create. The 6x24 plate used in the trailer base was seen in 30 sets over 53 years, which is quite a long run for any piece, and for this trailer, it serves a purpose, but it is very plain. This is finished off with a couple of 2x8 hinge pieces with 2 pairs of wheels. This 6x34 split level piece is actually a train base that featured in sets from 2008 to 2016. This trailer doesn't have ramps, so I guess the excavator drives onto the truck from the side. It has some good detail with lights, a securing base for the excavator, and a mounting point for the other attachment. It looks like a theme here with the main colour of the excavators both being yellow, but the choice of secondary colours is different and there is some similarity with their overall function, just executed in a different way. Both of them are able to swivel on the base with the drive mechanism. One has the Caterpillar treads and the other just has big chunky tyres. A classic set's arm articulation is from those hinged pieces that don't really have any friction, so it's difficult to pose the arm, but it is controlled with a winch piece that sits to the rear of the cab. It's this 4x4x2 winch holder with a metal handle, red wheel and string which you wind up or down to control the arm. A new excavator arm benefits from the locking hinges that were introduced in the late 1990s, so the arm is easy to pose for play. The new excavator also benefits from the extra drilling attachment that comes with the set. Both machines have digger attachments, with one described as a 3x5 by 1 1/3 smooth digger bucket with digger bucket arm hinge, which had a 27-year history from 1972 all the way through to 1999. The other bucket is the 9-teeth 4x8 digger bucket that had a 10-set, 11-year run ending in 2015. Despite its simplicity, Set 383 is quite a fun build, especially in the context of 1973. The way the front wheels fit through those plates to steer the front wheels, the mechanism with the winch, lift arm and digger is pretty cool and imaginative, even with the limited 1973 piece palette. It's hard not to enjoy building trucks and tractors, and 4203 is no exception. The small detail pieces on all three components make for a good build step through. There are quite a few stickers in the set, but they're easy to place and they fit really, really well with the set. We have covered some of the playability for these two sets earlier in the video, but it's hard not to like this modern set. It's 2 minifigures, a stick of dynamite, a pick and a shovel, and 2 boulders. There are plenty of play options on its own, but it goes next level when combined with something like a dump truck, a separate set. Our earlier set still has some good function. Use the winch to lift up the arm, drop the ramps to drive the excavator onto the truck, and drive the truck around using the steering mechanism. It's a good truck for some vroom vroom and for some wholesome 1973 playtime. It's been 52 years since our first set was released, and while it's a fun set, I don't think it has a big collectability potential to it. While it is quite rare, with only 6 sets showing for sale on Bricklink, they're not asking huge prices, which is one of the best indicators for me to gauge how much demand there is for a set from a collector's point of view. In 2012, this newer set was $50 in Australia, and the prices for used complete sets on Bricklink range from $26 to $107. So 13 years on, you'd have to say that there is probably some growing potential in its collectability. It is actually a really good set that I don't think is really dated that much, so I think it will be well sought after into the future. A couple of final images here to show these two sets side by side. I think it's great to have so many town and city sets that were able to do these old versus new matchups, so if you like them, I will do some more. And I've tried to change up how I present these comparison videos a little bit, so I hope you've enjoyed it, and if you did, please remember to give it a like. If you'd like to see more vintage set reviews and old versus new comparisons, remember to subscribe, and as always, feel free to leave a comment. Do you think this was a good old versus new matchup? Do you have these sets in your Lego town? And if you do, let me know. So that's all for today. I'm Lord Paul, and this is Lord Paul's Bricks, and bye for now. I have two excavators and their transport low loaders to show you. One from an era of vinyl records and eight-track tapes. Yeah. Whatever the era, you've got a... What's wrong? Because it predates even the first statue minifigures. This newer generation excavator transporter has a more substantial blah, 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 blah. Starting with the front of the prime movers, it is obvious that in my full reviews, I show with small pieces adding a tremendous amount of detail. The grille and headlamps are a printed 1x6 brick. In my full reviews, I show any unique, rare and long discontinued pieces that are in a set. But for today's comparison, I'm going to show how, starting with the front of the prime movers, it is obviously that... Why can't